Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to your end of July 2022 general tarot reading update. It's Rena here. Well, I have the windows open and I can hear I don't know if it's probably the locust too. And it's such a neat sound, late summer. So I don't know if you can hear that, but I know I can. It's always, kind of weird towards the end of July because then August is going to be right around the corner, and it's like, okay, and this is the countdown to the end of summer. And it's like, oh, wow. Wow, swords, swords, swords. Swords and wands. Masculine energy. More wands, wow. Okay, Virgo. The heart of the matter is the Two of Swords. Do you have a decision that you are on the precipice of making? Maybe this is not a decision that is a true decision. Um, this deck, I was like, why does this deck have such a negative connotation associated with this card? But actually, when I think about the Rider-Waite deck, she's got a blindfold too. And I interpret this to mean, the blindfold to mean that the person is under the delusion that she's making a choice, but really either she's choosing between two undesirable things or maybe people, or she's not seeing the truth of the situation. So she might be there could be a possibility that she chooses the wrong thing. So even if there's one choice that might be better than, might be a good thing, like let's say there are two people in her life that are romantic interests, she might choose the the person that isn't good for her over the person who is, simply because she's blinded to something. Why is that happening? Well, with Virgo, it can be sometimes that you don't trust your own judgment. And this can be coming from the past, where maybe if you were criticized, you started to doubt yourself. I don't know about the sun in Virgo, because I have the moon in Virgo, and I know that certainly can come up with the moon, that maybe there's a little bit of a hesitancy or a kind of a confusion. Okay, what should I do? But yeah, or just over analyzing things, for sure. That could be it, for sure. Because swords are connected to mental energy. In the past position is the Three of Wands, and this is a very expansive card. Now, this might be somebody that you have met that has a strong fire element or signature in their persona. So Aries, Leo, Sag. Sag is one of the, to me, the one that you tend to gravitate towards, because you're both mutable signs. So you have that kind of friction that can be very attractive, even though it's irritating too. But this is also another thing, is if you have done something new in your life that has expanded your world, there could be like, I don't want to say like a backlash, but this kind of a counterpoint where everything is not as you had hoped for some reason. Maybe you've had some kind of self-doubt or even a setback of some sort, and that has left you feeling I don't know, a bit unsure of things because, like, when we expand, I don't think it's unusual to contract, just out of a sense of, that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I've gone too far, or I don't know if I can do this. And this is, I think, part of the integration of a new level. When you level up, as they say in the new age community, leveling up, that's one of the big words these days. I don't think it's uncommon to have a little bit of a setback, even if it's like a psychological setback. So something may have happened along the way with that. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I see even the higher message here, which is like the spiritual message, the Seven of Wands. Um, this is a very interesting depiction of the Seven of Wands. I have another deck that has a candle flame, and the Rider-Waite deck shows somebody in a position, in a defensive posture. So it's a totally different vibe. The number 7 is connected to kind of introspection. So she's meditating in this picture, so it's perfect for that. And then you see that kind of the Manipura, or the third chakra, lit up in the stomach area, and that sun, that's the power chakra. So with wands, would be connected to that, but it's kind of like that inner power in a sense. Now, how does that connect with that, the stand your ground type of interpretation or illustration of the Rider-Waite deck and other decks like that? I think that I like to see that flame as the inner flame, that we nurture, that we stoke within ourselves. So from a young age, that there is usually something that we know that we came here to do, or that we love to do, and that sometimes we're diverted from that purpose by well-meaning adults, maybe, or in some cases they might not be so well-meaning, but they just don't know any better. They don't feel like they have been living their dreams. So they kind of want everybody to be in their boat, I guess, in some cases. But you preserve that. So if there are, I even think with the Two of Swords, I would even look at people in your life who are trying to, kind of play devil's advocate, or maybe they're trying to plant doubts in your mind and kind of pull and push. I'm not saying that is the typical interpretation of the Two of Swords, but I'm looking at the dualistic nature, or even within yourself. If you are of two minds and it's very hard, that's definitely, it's being at loggerheads, or being on the horns of a dilemma. And you're being pulled, but those are two black birds, which might symbolize negative thoughts. So the Seven of Wands, she's kind of in this exalted position because she is tuning into herself. And with wands, it's about the fire element. It's about authenticity. So doing what feels right for you, not what other people necessarily want for you. What crosses you is the Eight of Swords, another one where they have the blindfold. And these are the negative self tapes. So I was kind of almost getting that vibe from that. I didn't know that I had picked this card. I kind of just put it down there without knowing it. And that's definitely associated with the negative conditioning. Actually, I don't know, is there positive conditioning? I think it tends to be negative. That's why it's conditioning. And that creates those self-limitations. And like I said, even that self-doubt where you question your own desires. The Three of Wands, there's that desire for freedom, that desire for creative self-expression. And yet, you're a Virgo. So you're like, okay, I have to be practical. I have to really, I can't deal with these pie in the sky desires of mine. I have to really do things that have some kind of probability of success behind them. Creative endeavors are very on shaky ground. And that can be the old tapes running as well, because parents tend to do that. They tend to think that certain professions, certain activities, they're either frivolous or they are not going to lead to anything productive or substantial. And being able to override that is so important as adults. Was coming in as the Emperor, and I was saying this fire energy, and actually this card is associated with Aries. I associate it with Capricorn, but it's interesting if it is associated with Aries being a major arcana card, because so is the Magician card. And so and actually the number 4 connects to Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. That's, probably where I'm going with that, because the number 4 is such a number of like foundations and stability, that kind of thing. So what the Emperor is about is getting your act together. And so if you are trying to do something that is out of the box, something that you've never done before, you have to have some kind of a game plan. You have to have things that you can how can I put it? You have to have your life in order. You can't just be doing things willy-nilly and hoping that they're going to work. And I don't think that Virgo is like that, but there still can be this maybe it's almost like, I feel like it's almost like you're trying to break free, like you've been tied up so long that now it's like you want to just like, because that's what the 3 of Wands is to me, like you just want to roam the earth and not have any responsibilities, and just see what is out there beyond this little um, area that you have been existing on. And the Emperor is like, okay, not so fast. Let's do things methodically, and then we can have the best chance for success. And so if you are thinking about like a creative type of career, how can you do that and still bring in an income, have your life be consistent? What are some of those things? And really thinking that through. Oh, it's very interesting. The outcome is the 4 of Wands. So here I got another 4. And this is also a card of your home life being full of joy. So rather than coming home to an austere environment, this is like they got the tambourine, they got everything going on. And I feel like you get your house in order, and then your house becomes, I was going to say party central, but I don't mean it like that. I mean, it's just like you feel a sense of joy. And actually, you could say house, but it can be your bearings, your home base, but not just on the physical level, on the energetic level, coming home to yourself even. So feeling that sense of comfort within your own being, where you're not, the 2 of Swords, it's like you're getting pulled in 2 different directions perhaps, and that doesn't feel very good. So really identifying what is important for you, for your happiness, in order to make the right decision in that regard. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.